Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the POC Amidal road cycling helmet. The new POC Amidal road cycling helmet is a new slimmer helmet in POC cycling lineup that was developed to be an all-rounder. That means it blends elements from their aero helmets with some more standard elements from their road cycling helmets to create performance, comfort, and speed. One fun fact about this helmet is Amidal is actually playing on the word Amygdala, which is actually part of the temporal lobe of the human brain. So it's a fun name that actually has some actual background with the human anatomy. Packaging wise, you can see a very simple POC box. You have the sticker on here with all the information for the version you have, as well as some safety information printed on there. Go ahead and open this up. We'll go over the full specs. Retail price on this helmet is $270. It features the MIPS Air Node technology for rotational safety. And again, it has a streamlined profile. So less of that mushroom look that you get with the other POC helmets. It features their 360 fit system, so easy to adjust rear dial. And it has reinforced zones that improve the safety of the helmet while also giving it a unique appearance. They also have a special KNOG and POC collaborative taillight that's designed to actually mount right on the rear, so it's optimized for that mounting. You can see it's a really cool looking helmet, definitely a unique design that blends a lot of the distinctive features of POC helmets with some new features we haven't seen. As far as what you get some basic tags attached to the helmet. You can see it's a nice eco-friendly design, just a simple strap so you can remove the tie and then you can recycle these. You also get a giant safety booklet, so a bunch of different languages and shows you how to adjust it. And an interesting packaging as well, so a little foam inner liner to keep it safe. And then you have this little travel bag, so super lightweight, transparent, and it has the POC logo with these bright orange ties. Now let's take a look at the weight of the helmet. We have the size medium. So you can see if we put it on our scale, comes in at a fairly light 357 grams. Visually, the POC Amidal shares many of POC's distinctive design elements like their vertical slots, a very smooth design, and a unique color palette to make this a very distinctive and easy to identify as a POC helmet. It's marketed as a slim helmet too, so you can see a little bit more narrow in the profile, thinner construction, so less mushroomy like the other helmets. And then you also have elements of their aero road cycling helmets with this more covered vents on the midsection. But you still have big vents on the front. And again, very smooth design that POC is known for. Very cool color matching too, so the gray foam with the gray outer. And again, more of an aero road appearance on the side, but not quite as exaggerated. And the rear is very distinctive with these reinforced zones that give it almost an animal or insect-like appearance. POC actually offers this helmet in 11 different color variations and all of POC's unique color palette options. So they're all matte colors, like the gray here. You have their hydrogen white with the white foam. You get black on the exterior with the white foam, fluorescent orange. And they also have some interesting multicolor options that'll do a different color on the bottom of the shell than the top, and then a different color for these outer rings as well. So you can get some very cool combinations, and with 11 options, you can definitely find the one that matches your kit. They also have the distinctive POC colors, so a very cool palette, and they're one of the few companies that actually change the color of the foam. Usually foam is just black, but you can see with this one it's gray. And then the hydrogen white one gives it a really bright inner appearance. The reinforced zones are also really cool looking. When we first saw this, it almost reminded us of the Lamar Air Atlas helmet, which had something called a UFO, and it was actually a removable plastic piece. So you can see it just looks like a plastic piece around the foam, and you can actually see the foam on the inside. But these are not removable, it's part of the structure, and you can see how they kind of stick out, and it definitely looks like an insect, especially from this back angle. These are the eyes, this is the head, and that's the mouth. So it's a cool looking helmet that's definitely a unique design compared to the Ventral and other helmets they've previously introduced. It's also more of a standard POC helmet than the Cytal, which had much more blunt front. So it's much more smooth and traditional in appearance. The rear also has some cool features, so it almost looks like these are slots, but these are just air vents. This rear portion is actually designed for a light mounting, so you can actually put a hook through here and then mount it. We don't actually have the light here in this review, but KNOG and POC actually have a collaborative light. I'll show a picture of it, and it has color matching. So you put the strap through here, and then they have the same colors as the POC helmet, so you can find one that'd be a perfect match for a very cool look. But you can see it's just a generic kind of hook-on design. No actual main feature here, so if you don't have the light, looks fine, and if you have the light, it would just kind of stick out. But definitely a cool element. Again, the rear looks quite unique, but plenty of ventilation, so definitely well vented while still having the aero appearance. On the inside of the helmet, you can see a semi-finished rim, so it extends down, and you have some exposed foam, but from the side, it really looks nice and complete. You have their 360 fit system, as well as the POC Air Node, or the MIPS Air Node. So you can see with the MIPS Air Node, that just refers to how the MIPS liner is attached. And it's a little firm at first, but you can actually rotate this side to side. And that's designed to give you a little bit more rotation before you actually stop moving, and that helps with an impact. So a cool feature we see with a lot of helmets these days and helps improve the safety. You also have the 360 fit system. Standard dial, and the dial actually feels a little bit cheap for this price point, but you can see it's textured. And when it's on your head, it's actually pretty easy to operate. You just push down and adjust, but it's easier to do when it's actually being worn. You have the adjustable cradle, so this will go up and down. Very thin plastic piece that goes around, and you even have some ponytail compatibility with the cutout on the rear. You have standard straps, so thin nylon, adjustable ear adjustment piece, so you can see this little Y piece. So really easy to adjust. You just slide the extra strap link through here, and you can move this up and down. And the nice thing about this, it's so wide that it's very comfortable, so you can see how it's spread out. And a standard plastic buckle. Here you can see a 360 shot of the helmet paired with the POC Devour Mid sunglasses. And you can see the helmet has much more clean, streamlined look compared to other helmets, so it doesn't really look as bulky as the other POC products, and still has that distinct POC signature design with the color match foam. Especially in this fog, this gray color actually goes well, and a pretty neutral color. I found the helmet to be really comfortable, easy to adjust, and the straps are lightweight, and the cradle gives you a nice secure feel. The size medium fit just as well as other helmets we've worn, and you have a good combination of ventilation. This is not a full aero helmet, but gives you the benefits of aero, so it feels fast, sounds quiet, and you can see plenty of space between the rim and bigger sunglasses like the Devour Mid. So I'm really impressed with it. It's a nice variation from the POC helmets and gives you a more streamlined look that you don't typically get. Here we have a couple POC helmets as well as a Lazer to compare against the Amygdala. If we look at the Cytal, you can really see how much slimmer the Amygdala is. This one's a lot bulkier, wider, and it has a very blunt front end versus this more streamlined design in the Amygdala. So definitely different design elements, but you can see similar design features, these vertical lines, very smooth vents, and the cool colored foam. This one's the hydrogen white, while this one's gray on gray, but they definitely look like POC. The rear end definitely is unique on the Amygdala though. You have that little bug eye appearance versus the more traditional center cutouts. And if we look at an older helmet like the POC Ventral, you can see this one's more aero, but again, bulkier. You can see how it's a wider helmet. So it really seems a little bit heavier, bigger, and the Amygdala is a little slimmer. But you can see they definitely copied many design elements with the covered midsection, but you get more vents on the Amygdala. And then we go to the rear, very unique design features here. So a little bit more covered than the Ventral, but a very unique design element with these reinforced zones. There are also other options on the market. We have the Lazer Sphere here. This is their kinetic core, so it actually doesn't have the MIPS in here. Instead it has these special foam zones that are cut out to the helmet itself. So a very cool design. So less bulk, less additional material. So it keeps these really lightweight. This is a more affordable helmet. So you can see that in the way the edges are a little bit rougher, exposed foam on the bottom. And you put them side by side, very similar profiles though. You get that aero appearance, but with the Amygdala you get more ventilation, so bigger vents. And again, a more distinctive design with that colored foam. What we like about the helmet, it has a nice slim profile. It's not quite like a mushroom like a lot of other POC helmets. It's a little bit sleeker and smaller. They're also offered an impressive variety of colors, and POC always has a really cool color selection with color matched foam with a lot of the options, and multicolor options if you want to spice it up a little bit more. It's also very comfortable, easy to just fit system, nice thin strap, and great ventilation, so even in warmer weather it was comfortable to ride with. The main negative is that it's quite expensive, just like a lot of the POC products. This is kind of more premium end of the market, so it costs a lot more than other brands. Taking everything into account, we'd give the helmet 9.2 out of 10. It's a thin and streamlined option that gives you both aero and more standard road cycling features. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.